Nobody wants to step off. They look at that cliff, they say, that's a cliff. I'm not stepping off. But there's never been any disaster. There just haven't been no disaster. But yet people still will not move. One of our studies that's been going on for quite some time is a detailed study of what do the white man give Negroes to paralyze them. What does he do? Some say money, but money is not everything. Maybe it's a combination of money, fear, but we've shown the people that boss man is not bad. Now, boss man give another narrative. He'll say, we're letting him do that. They say they ain't letting nobody do nothing. I mean, they are letting in their way, but they can't do nothing because they don't know what the outcome would be. They mention martyrdom all the time. Martyrdom carries different things. Imam Hussein is the king of the martyrs. He's still here right now. Because they commemorate him. Every Muharram, they just, hey man, every Arba'in, he's alive at the 40th day after. The millions of people, so when they don't do something, it's because they can't weigh and measure the outcome. And what if something did happen? That means that the things like this right here, there's hundreds of these out now. People might start studying them. Well, why is he so important? Right now, it ain't but 2, 3 people, right? But suppose something happened. They can't measure that. A lot of things they can't weigh and they can't measure. I don't mean to confuse the issue, but the point today is every time there's a crossroad that you reach, not a crossroad, you reach a new plateau. One motivational speaker said there's no elevator to the top, you gotta climb. You know, in other words, in life, the stuff we're doing, it also takes a lot of work. You know, after you've been in a period of messing with the, you know, this design, fitna, and all of that, and delay, that's easy-going stuff. But you know, we're moving into real work. So you have to retrain yourself that the vacation is over. Trapping the white man it's comfortable. You don't really have to do much. You let him use his own weight and his slickness, he traps himself. But now we have to develop communication networks, right? We have to reach out to people. And it's a global thing. Each people, all kind of people, and every kind of people at all times. You have to tighten yourself up about expectations. You know, like if you don't have nobody, hardly few people paying attention, that's one thing. But when you have the media and you have all them people listening to you and you go on all the shows, it makes you feel like you can really do something. That's also a deadly trap. That was Martin Luther King's trap. It was Malcolm's too. Since they were on the media so long, at first they thought their words and all of that would have an effect. And then they come to see that everybody's just moseying along, right? This is heartbreaking. Okay, well, it's heartbreaking for them, but we have to put up all kind of psychological and spiritual defenses. Then when you have certain victories, then your head can go straight. So you have to have all kind of notes that remind you, beware of spiritual arrogance. Now, all of this comes from experience, that you have an idea of what's coming. I would say right now, the biggest point is I'll put it this way. All of these people, the door is still open for them. Simple as that. The door is still open for Mukhtar and them even. You know, I told Mukhtar a long time ago, I said, I'm going to help y'all. I told him and Khadijah at the Masjid. So I'm going to help y'all, because y'all definitely need help. You know, when this little, and that period is passing, and they need a little help. They may need, I don't know how to put it, maybe types of protection. You know, that everything is all right. All this has a lot to do with our special kindness and forgiveness. But why kindness and forgiveness? Because we've learned from experience, real experience, that that's not the only way to go, but it's the best way to go. It's the best way to go. Simple as that. Any other way, you're mad all the time. And you're mad at everybody about what they don't. Then you become blamers. We're not free because they don't do this and they don't do that, you know. But in the forgiveness, you overlook them. They're human beings. They have problems. You concentrate more on yourself. Well, we're able to explain it better, to show them more. That means you let your light shine. Because remember, as much as we want, this is not a rescue mission. We're not technically here to rescue Negroes or nobody. Why? Because you can't rescue, you can't do it. Until they're ready, you can't do it. You could lay out, we've done it tons of times. You can lay out the money, you can lay out the wealth, you can lay out the whole thing. But as soon as you leave, they go back to doing what they was doing before. They got a little bigger car, a newer car, they done got that as a habit. But they ain't got nothing, they don't have no other vision. That's why they always try to kill the visionaries. People that see that new world, they try to get rid of it. Well, we ain't worried about all of that. I do feel like we're pulling away again during this period. Just like it happens many times. It happened coming here, it's happened probably about twice here. When you're evolving above and away. See, people that oppress you, they don't evolve by them oppressing you. They are aware that they're oppressing or cooperating with oppressor. But they don't evolve like you do. It's like you get a championship fight every night. You go, if you don't get knocked out or beat to death, you're going to get good. And the more fights you have, the better you're going to get. Like my partner that's a boxer, he was trying to tell me to slow down because I'm taking too many headshots. I told him this is psychological guerrilla warfare. It ain't having no effect. I said in boxing, I said Matthew Saad Muhammad used to lead with his head, so he was a good fighter, but he didn't last no time. So that's the first lesson we learned. Psychological guerrilla warfare hurts them, but it don't hurt you. They don't know that yet. Okay. Nobody will treat you better than you treat yourself, that's for sure. I have a statement here, I have already jumped. Join me, but I'm willing to go it alone. What does that mean? We get to the edge of the cliff, like when Moses got to the edge of the sea. He looked around and said, there's a sea right there. So everybody started grumbling. Look what you got to do, man, it's a trap. You know. He didn't panic, he just hit the stick in the water and opened up. Simple as that. So, every time we have maneuvered or been maneuvered into a position, that's the same thing that happened every time. Because we escaped all tragedy. Can you imagine? With all of that fitna, not one tragic, nothing tragic. You know what the people say? You was beat upside the head. I said, Pettis Bridge. I said, for niggas down in Dixie, that's the lowest level of struggle to be beat upside the head. That's the lowest level of struggle for niggas in the civil rights, right? That's the lowest level of struggle, to be spit on, to be harassed, and to be busted upside the head. Now, I figured, just like John Lewis, I figured it might have did him a little damage, because I said, boy, that nigga there. And he don't, after all of what they did to King, he don't match up nothing with the Muslims, right? They did it to Dr. King so he could see, oh, that's what they're doing to the Muslims, right? He don't do that, no indeed. I had a beautiful experience, I had an out-of-body experience when Obama was elected. I said, nigga, you had an out-of-brain experience. You done lost your mind. Now, you think about it, everybody was talking about how great Obama was going to be, right? I said right here, I said, no, that's a white man's nigga. Under Obama, everything that's bad for the Negro happened.
Got worse.
Got worse. Everything. What was they thinking about? It was so bad, when he was inaugurated, my niece called, can I stay with y'all? I said, you can stay, but I'm going. I left, I headed to California. I don't know if y'all remember, so I'm not staying there and watching the niggas dance all up and down the street and be all, you know, they did. They was loaded down here. I said, I'm not staying. I left. But okay, how often do we have to be right? That's another question. How often do we have to be right? For people to say maybe they know what they're talking about. They say the great managers are right about 30% of the time. I think we're right 98% of the time. Well, we don't want to say 100, that's more like it, but just think about it. Just think about it. So the question is, why nobody ready to step off the cliff? Ain't nothing ever happened. A parachute come by, a big bird come by, pick us up. And even if you fell flat on your face, you just get up, right? That's all. You just get up and dust yourself off. You might be a little broke, you know, here and there, you know, your legs, you get old, you know. But when you're young, you have green stick breaks. You know, like you take a twig and bend it and it goes boop, but it just didn't break, it just popped up, boom. And you just straighten it back out. That's it. But old folks, when they hit bottom, they just break up all their bones. They just, it probably hurt too. I think it does hurt. It hurt sometimes. Just, you know, but you just lay there a while, contemplate, and when you get ready, get up and get busy. And the more you move, action cures fear. This is the thing we have to learn. I'm trying to say a lot of things in as short as time as I have, this pre-Ramadan thing, but we didn't already jump. It would be nice to have company. That's all I'm saying. It'd be nice to have company. I mean, when you're used to jumping, you're going to jump whether anybody else jump or not, because that's what you do. In fact, we've already jumped. We're already into the process. But if you watch how just 3 or 4 people are serving foods, little simple things like that. We didn't have about 10 or 12. We had about 12, 14 brothers in the Brotherhood. There was others on the list, but when we went out dressed in black, it wasn't a whole lot of brothers. It's just, it looked good. Unity, coordination, right? All that stuff. Okay, that's visual. I feel that stuff is moving around again. But there comes a time when I would say if people could just take a risk, can't hurt nothing, shoot. Well, it can. You could get killed, but who worries about it after you're getting so old? You wants to live forever anyway. Boy, but it's fun. That's the thing that people forget about. The self-esteem. The real fun. Fun, simple things. FBI is here, everybody's scared of the FBI. FBI, right? It's normal. You guys is criminals, man. You think something. That's exactly the way we talk to them. The first time we talked a little nicer down there. But this time, no, man, ain't nobody listening to that crap. You know, that's it. Ain't nothing they can do about it. They came here. But that feels good. Why does it feel good? Because everybody, you can't find 2 people in the United States that'll talk to the FBI like that and mean it. They don't exist. That feels good. That's great. I mean, it ain't nothing to write home about, but it's okay, it's fine. For us to endure the things that we've been dealing with for the last 15, 20 years, it is the record for endurance, survival in the United States. That's what it is. That's what it is, at least that's what the research shows. The things that we said and the things that we're doing shows that that's what appears to have been happening. It appears that 98% of the people in the United States was all on the other team fighting against us. Right? Is that what it appears like? That's what it appears like. It appears like that. And they're not going to stop. The FBI said, you don't have to worry about us no more. Well, if that was true, then when I drink coffee, I'd get a buzz. When I do all the other stuff, my leg wouldn't be hurting. You know what I mean? Because it don't need to be hurting. So if they was telling the truth, they'd take the hurt off my leg. Just like, remember I told y'all that I got a call from Iran a while back from the little guy that was here. He asked me 3 questions. How's your writing? So, can't even write. He asked me, how's something or other? 2 days later, y'all remember, tell the truth. It was 2, 3 days later, I was up and gone. Just like that. That means whatever. Look, the man pushed the button. That's all it is. That's the way I believe. He pushed the right button. I write now just like I've been writing before. I couldn't write. I just couldn't write. Do y'all remember my hand was like, how can you get, in 3 days I'm writing and running the yard talking crazy. 3 days. Right?
Unbelievable. No rehab. Nothing.
No rehab, no nothing. I mean, my hand was like, and all of a sudden, I mean, that didn't take a day. It took 2 days maximum. So that means that this thing, we got them running in circles. Because everything they do is exposed. It just, it don't, that's not possible. That you can't talk, you can't make sentences, you can't do nothing. And one call from Iran, can you write? How's your upper body strength? I'm telling you. Well, I've been back on the iron. Actually, my upper body strength is back. It's getting back to where, where you could almost use it, properly. I'm telling you, we got them. How much evidence do people need to see that it's an opportunity to be in the big leagues, to be in the Super Bowl of life? Why not? That's what people do. That's what people want. Okay, anyway, let me wrap this up. I'm not going to go over re-Africanization of the Islamic movement, the de-Israelization of the Islamic movement, diaspora awareness, dialectical idealism, College of Islamic Movement Studies, Department of Strategic and Islamic Studies, Cultural Development, Agricultural Liberation. We'll get to all of that some other time. We just like to say that those ayats about helping your brother, the uphill road goes down in the dust. Sometimes the older you get, the more you feel for people like that, a desire to help people who have been really abused by the system. And that's why I like that. The brother that's down in the dust. Where are our people at now? Do they know what's happening to them? No. And, hell, they don't even care much. You know what I mean? They don't care much. They just don't care. Because the system has produced. Now, if we have the medicine, right, Ashifa, the healing and the medicine for the people, why not at least make the medicine available to the people? Whether they take it or not, that's up to them. But I feel like that's our duty. So I'll close with that, and we thank everybody very much. And we would also like to, we have a few flyers here. And we would like to ask where would, I'm going to go over to PGMA and where else am I going? I'll keep a couple more.
I'll do the research.
Okay,
National Homes closer to you.
so I'll hand those to y'all. In fact, I'll take just a few of those back, just in case.
So these two stacks.
That one for you and one for yourself. So we'll do, we'll get those out, and we'll make a little announcement here. It doesn't make any difference. You know, we'll get the word out the best we can. This Sunday, we will still serve the food.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, that'll be on the 5th. Now, next Sunday, we will have food built up by then, so we might do it Saturday and Sunday. Or remember, we might let them come in at the end every night, or 3 nights a week, or on the weekend, you know. We can think about it and see how, when we had all them little niggas coming in, little Negroes,